Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So if you're a horror fan like me, then you've probably been buzzing about Black Phone 2, the long-awaited sequel to that chilling 2021 hit. And today, we're diving deep into whether this movie lives up to the massive hype, spoiler-free summary for the plot, and some opinions for the movie. Like, does it deliver the scares, or is it just another cash grab sequel? So stick around for a clear understanding. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then hit that subscribe button and like the video if it helped. So 4 years after the terrifying events of the first film, Finney Blake, now a traumatized 17-year-old played by Mason Thames, is still haunted by his escape from the serial killer known as Grabber. His younger sister Gwen, portrayed by Madeline McGraw, steps into the spotlight as she begins receiving eerie calls on the Black Phone through her vivid dreams and visions. So set against a snowy Catholic sleepaway camp, the siblings must confront a vengeful supernatural force tied to their past, blending psychological horror with ghostly revenge. And this setup shifts the focus from Finney's basement nightmare to Gwen's clairvoyant struggles, introducing new elements like faith and family grief, while keeping the core supernatural mystery intact. Well, Black Phone 2 had a production budget of around $30 million, produced by Blumhouse and Universal, which is a step up from the original's modest $18 million, but still keeps it in the efficient horror realm. And at the box office, it opened strong with $26.5 million domestically in its first weekend, surpassing projections and hitting $61.7 million so far, proving Blumhouse knack for low to mid-budget wins in a horror-fatigued market. And this financial success echoes the first film's sleeper hit status, which has grossed over $161 million worldwide. Then as for audiences and critics. Critics have given Black Phone 2 a mixed, but mostly positive reception, landing at 77% on Rotten Tomatoes from over 130 reviews, with a Metacritic score of 59, indicating solid but not groundbreaking work. But on the positive side, many praise director Scott Derrickson's atmospheric direction, like the evolution of Ethan Hawke's Grabber into a more supernatural-like villain, and the deeper exploration of trauma and sibling bonds. Reviewers highlight the film's fresh take on the original, with stunning cinematography and dream sequences and a punk rock energy that avoids rehashing old scares, calling it an ambitious sequel that honors the source material while adding theological depth through faith versus evil themes. But as negatives from critics point to pacing issues, with the story feeling too expository in the middle and overly cluttered with religious undertones that clash with the horror, making it high-minded but sometimes at odds with itself. And some say it lacks the raw emotional punch of the first film, relying too much on gore and profanity, without enough actual peril or kills to heighten tension. Meanwhile, audience scores are even stronger at 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, with fans loving the character growth for Gwen and Finney, emotional family moments, and Hawke's chilling return, as many called it a worthy follow-up that exceeded expectations. However, some viewers echoed critic complaints, feeling it didn't recapture the original's mystery and depth, with uneven dialogue and a slower build-up dragging down the hype. But in my opinion, I would rate Black Phone 2 a solid 7.5 out of 10, because it's a creepy and inventive sequel that builds smartly on the first film's legacy without feeling redundant. Actually, this movie's strengths shine in its psychological layers, like Finney's PTSD-fueled hallucinations and Gwen's dream visions create genuine unease, which is later amplified by Hawke's eerie, with freezer-burned Grabber who now wields ghostly powers for revenge. And the shift to a wintry camp setting adds frosty chills, and themes of grief, survivor's guilt, and spirituality give it more heart than your average slasher sequel. But with this elements, it stumbles with a runtime that's too long for casual viewers, leading to meandering exposition that dulls the terror until the final act ramps up. The religious elements feel forced at times, and while the gore is graphic, it misses opportunities for higher stakes, like more direct confrontations. So it's not as taut or impactful as the original, but for horror fans who craves character-driven scares, it's a win. And lastly, let's talk about, does it really worth your time and hype? Well, in my opinion, yes, Black Phone 2 absolutely worth your time. If you love the first movie's blend of supernatural thrills and emotional depth, it's not perfect, but it delivers fresh nightmares and earns its R rating with style. And the hype is justified for its bold evolution, like turning the grabber into an undead boogeyman, expands the universe without betraying Joe Hill's story, and early box office buzz shows that audiences are connecting with the trauma-focused narrative amid 2025's horror slate. But if you're expecting the same basement intensity or nonstop kills, then it might fall short, because the slower build and thematic detours temper the pure fright factor. Still, in a sea of repetitive sequels, this one is a smart and chilling step forward that rewards patient viewers. So skip it only if you're burned out on kid-centric horror. Otherwise, catch it in theaters for the immersive chills. But as for its success, we have to wait and see that how much it can earn. Can it beat its first film in earnings or not? So thanks for watching, and whether it's a must-see or a mild pass, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And again, if you enjoyed this review, smash that like button and subscribe for more movie deep dives.